The birthright citizenship, um, that ruling came down, and you know we can look what we can expect now from the current administration is pretty simple. If the Supreme Court has locked in birthright citizenship, then the fight shifts from the baby to the pipeline. Okay, somebody type from the baby to the pipeline. All right, and Trump's administration's backup plan isn't to relitigate the same issue tomorrow. It's not to go after the machinery, or really, what we're going to do is we're going to go after the people that make birth tourism possible. And so the DOJ has recently reported, or it's directed its prosecutors to prioritize birth tourism investigations with DHS, and Reuters reported that potential charges may include visa fraud, money laundering, identity theft, aggravated identity theft, and healthcare fraud. And that matters because the government may not be able to deny citizenship to the child after birth, but it can still put your mama in jail. Somebody fight, mama's going to jail in the chat room. They can prosecute the adults, they can prosecute the organizers, they can prosecute the facilitators and the travel operators, and document the handlers and the business networks that help foreign nationals lie and cheat and steal their way into our country for the purpose of giving birth. Again, they might not be able to stop you from pushing that baby out, but they certainly can't put you in that federal penitentiary when you have it. You and that baby locked up. Somebody type jail baby in the chat room. Somebody type jail baby. Jail baby. Born in a jail. Okay? And so that in itself should act as a deterrent. Now, and this problem is real. This isn't some made up talking point. The Department of Justice has prosecuted baby tourism operators before, including a Chinese national who pled guilty in 2019 to running an Orange County birth tourism business. They catered to wealthy pregnant clients, and Chinese government officials charged them tens of thousands of dollars just to help make sure they can give birth to their baby in the United States, so that their children would have U.S. citizenship and all those rights. And so Reuters also reported in April 2026 that ICE launched a new effort to uncover birth tourism schemes focused on the whole network that allegedly helped these pregnant women lie on their visa applications just so they can get U.S. citizenship for the use for their U.S. born babies. Now, the Migration Policy Institute puts the issue very plain. Giving birth in the United States while on a temporary visa isn't in itself illegal, but obtaining a visa solely to secure citizenship for a child amounts to fraud, and it can make the person inadmissible. So what should Americans do? Somebody type, what we gonna do in the chat room? What we gonna do? Well, expect more prosecutions, expect more scrutiny of visa applications, expect more questions at the consulate and ports of entry, expect the government to target maternity hotels and operations and coaching networks and false itinerary schemes and fake medical paperwork and shell payment arrangements and package deals marketed overseas as come to America, have a baby, get the passport. Expect the Department of Justice to treat these cases less like isolated immigration violations and more like organized crime. And that's a real shift. They're going to start treating pregnant women like Pablo back in Medellin or something like that, like the mob. And the Supreme Court may have said that the child is a citizen, but the Department of Justice is saying the route used to create that citizenship is criminal. And the numbers explain why the administration sees this as urgent. Pew Research found that in 2023, unauthorized immigrant mothers and legal temporary immigrant mothers had 320,000 babies in the United States. That's in 2023. They dropped over 300,000 babies. That's 9% of the US population. That's 1 year. Okay? Now, Pew also said that if under Donald Trump's executive order, 260,000 of those babies wouldn't have even qualified as citizens under Trump's executive order if it had went into effect. Why? Because neither the parents were American citizens, or they were here illegally. So think about that. You got 250,000 illegal babies in here. Somebody type illegal baby in the chat room. And babies are illegal. That's an unauthorized baby. That's what they were saying. Now, Axios reported that the federal estimates of birth tourism is uncertain, but they said it's about 20 to 26,000 annual births from tourist visa holders alone. And if someone thinks that number is small compared with total U.S. births, it's still major. It's still a major enforcement issue because each case represents a direct attempt to skirt and convert physical presence into permanent citizenship status. Because once you drop that baby, right, you drop that baby off, then you can turn back around and apply for citizenship, etc. Okay, and that's why this section matters after Trump v. Barber. And the government's only practical option is to fight before the birth, before entry, before fraud, and before people disappear into the interior. They get lost in the sauce. And if the court says the child born here is a citizen, then the administration has to make it a lot harder to get here under these fake and false pretenses. Okay. Now the next battlefield is not going to be constitutional. It'll be visa fraud, the screening at the consulate, border enforcement, and worksite enforcement, and sanctuary policies, and criminal prosecutions of birth networks. Okay. Now, what did I say earlier? I said temporary means temporary, but a lot of people seem not to understand that. So what we're going to do is we're going to look over a little video footage because I think it's important. And again, a lot of Americans are angry. Somebody type angry in the chat room. Very, very angry. And it's shocking that you have so much anger coming from places that you would least think that would come from, i.e. Black people.